Are we live? Are we not? Is audio going through? We're gonna find out. Let's see. We're gonna find out. Looks like everything is fine. Everything's going well. So I'll go ahead and now say, howdy folks. It's me, Mung. And this isn't gonna be your usual, like, super retarded, like, all over the place stream. No. Not gonna be doing that this time around. It'll still be kind of fun, but for the most part, that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about the utter travesty that is Blue Ridge Rock Festival 2023. What happened here? Let's just put on some Cold War zombies just to have something to do while I'm talking here. Also, sorry if you can hear like a bunch of cars going by. My AC got taken out. Like, we took out our ACs the other day, so I have my fan back in my window. But that's not the point. That's not the point. So, in case you didn't know, Blue Ridge Rock Festival, it's a giant like metal and rock festival in the middle of Virginia, or toward North Carolina and Virginia. I forget where it is. I really don't care either. But it's a big old festival in Virginia where like a lot of really good lineups happen. And it's ran by a man named Jonathan Sly. I prefer to call him Sly Cunt because that man supposedly is a really good con artist, and it shows with how he ran this year's festival. And supposedly, the last year's festival and the ones before it were also pretty damn badly ran. But this is my first time I've ever been there, so I can only go off of so many people who are assuming this, or who are saying this, not assuming. So, me, Zane, and Dylan, we all get the 4-day passes, because we were like, hell yeah, these lamps are fucking great. Let's go see all of them. And we get there Thursday. Fucking, as soon as you get within like 10 minutes of where you're supposed to park, internet signal gone. You can't pull nothing up. You get no reception. You're just ghosted. And you see, they had months in advance to plan this. Like, I think the main lineups were revealed in like, and don't quote me on this, I think April or like the end of March is when the lineup was released. So they had months to plan out where they're gonna get everything set up. Months. And they chose the area where the internet is so bad that you can barely get anything pulled up. Even they could barely get things pulled up. Because we all had to wait in the box office line, because Dylan, being the slim brim he is, he put on his wristband way too early, and then he ended up cutting it off because he didn't like how it felt. So we had to go get him a new wristband. So we're sitting there in line, boiling heat, fucking sweating our asses off, like, not having the best of times in that line, and it's moving like 2 people every like 30 minutes because they can't get things to pull up because of the internet in there. So we're all just sitting there trying to function, and eventually we get up to the line. Like, we get up to the front of the line, get the thing. Didn't take us that long, surprisingly, but from what I heard, there was someone next to us who worked up there who said he was going to go get a hotspot just to like help things to go faster. And please hold, I think I sound really fucking nasally and I need to blow my nose. Let me mute my mic so you don't have to hear my horrendous sounds. Alright, sorry for that, but we're back here and we're gonna keep going. So, guy goes to get his hotspot apparently, so it's gonna take him a while, but by the time that went around, we were already going into the line for the shuttle buses, which thankfully was just boom, 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 gone. Everyone was going through. And I didn't pay attention to this before, but the drug dogs they had looked rather skinny. Like, you could see the ribs. It was like the more I think about it, the more it kind of gets me fucking pissed. but I'll dwell on that later. So we're still on like the main portion. Next up, the shuttle buses. The fucking shuttle buses. Supposedly last year they were having issues with the shuttle buses before because like they didn't have enough for all the people, and this year they tried to help that by getting more. So, what do you think they did? They had plenty of shuttle buses. Well, somewhat plenty of shuttle buses. So what do you think they did? We get around the corner where the line was going. There was like 10 shuttle buses in a row sitting there. No one in them. Just sitting there, doing nothing. And there was maybe 2 that were being driven by actual bus drivers. Yeah. That's just the beginning on the shuttle bus dilemma. You're going to hear way more from it very shortly. But yeah, we got on the bus, and one of the good things was our bus driver, Tony. What a guy. He was about as redneck as you can get, and he was the funniest motherfucker that entire way. He was just spewing out whatever the hell. And I brought my sombrero with me, and it was really fucking funny, because as soon as I got on the bus, he's like, "Hell yeah, man, I like that hat!" And he was like, "Hey, can I wear that for a little bit?" And I just gave it to him, and he put it on for a little bit, and just handed it back. Tony was a great guy. He was like one of the best things about that festival. But after we depart from Tony, we have to walk up this long, fucking winding-ass, tree-riddled road, like trees on either side of the road, to get to the festival grounds. So already we have to walk a little longer. But it's a little bit more shaded because of the trees, so we get in there. And already, when we get up to the main gate, things are a little awry. Because normally at a concert festival like Louder Than Life that I've been to, you have a clear, like, they'll search your bags. Like, they'll always search your bags, they'll search everything, make sure you're not bringing any, like, drugs or weapons in. It's just standard protocol, right? You know what they fucking do up there? And this is from, like, the camping, like, I'll get more on the camping area, too, because there's a camping area, but this is what they do. They look at you, they go, "Got any weapons?" They send you on your way. Just like that. Same thing went around with the camping area, too. Like, they would just open up the car, take a little look, boom. And apparently some people weren't even scanning their wristbands when they walked in because of how shittily the security was. But it just wasn't right. Immediately we were in there, and the first things you're gonna see, and keep in mind, bordering 100, humid as all fuck, everyone's sweating, getting dehydrated. What do you think they're selling? Pretty much everywhere, excluding merch and food. Beer. Oh, okay. And while okay, I gotta try to do this here while the zombies go around. So, over here, beer, 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 beer. Beer fucking everywhere. Hardly any water. So, in case you didn't know, from what my dad told me, beer on a hot day, not good for your body. And oh, hold on. The water stations. I almost forgot the water station bullshit. Oh, you're gonna have a treat out of this. You guys are gonna get a big treat out of this. Whoever watches this now, whoever watches this later, you're gonna fucking love what I tell you here about how these fucking retards manage this. The water station. So Zane told me, back before the festival was fully starting, that they heard like all the outrage about how there was hardly any water refill stations around the venue last year, and that they said they promised 12 water stations. That would be, God fuck, just 8 before I did this, but they promised 12 fucking water stations, all about the raceway. You want to know how many there were? 2. One in the VIP section and one in the general admission section. And one in the general admission section was in some bumfuck corner in the venue. But of course they probably meant 12 taps to fill up bottles. So what do you get when you have a bunch of people chock full of beer, because that's the only thing they're fucking selling, and a water refill station that you have to literally hike over a couple hills just to get to? That's right, you get people having heat stroke and passing out. which happened quite frequently around us. And only then did they start to bring out water, like pallets and pallets of water for people to drink, just for free. A little too late by then, I'd say. But let's go ahead and get off the negatives for a little bit and talk about the few bands we saw. We mainly went up there on Thursday for Psycho Stick, Vended, and whoever else, because we didn't really even get to see anyone else up there, but I'll get on that in a moment. So we get up there, and for Psycho Stick, we are like right at the fucking wall. Like, right fucking there. Which is awesome, because Psycho Stick is fucking cool. And they come on, and they sound great. Like, they are really fucking good. Remember, I was wearing my sombrero. And it was fucking cool because the one dude who wears that weird, like, bacon-looking hat, he fucking pointed me out and was like, hey, sombrero dude. So that was quite cool. But they sounded great, they played great, it was a great show. All around from Psycho Stick. But Vended came on next, and Vended also sounded really fucking good. Like, Vended was really good. Ooh, I just farted. I mean, I've seen them before, but this time around they were honestly much better this time around. And I can't get that one. We're getting sidetracked. Yeah, Vended sounded great. They had to actually pause the show for a moment because someone was injured. Like, they got hurt in the crowd, so they had to stop the show for just a moment to help them. But after that, we just go back. We're just sitting on a tree stump. Just sitting there, contemplating life choices because the heat is fucking destroying us. And then eventually, we're like, you know, we gotta do something. We can't just be sitting here. Let's go watch Highly Suspect. So we go back and watch Highly Suspect, just sitting there on top of the hill, just rocking out. They're doing pretty good, watching the lines for their set. The fuck was that? Oh, it's newspaper. Well, it's a post office. Startled me for a second. Didn't know what the fuck was going on. Yeah, as I was saying. Oh, hold on. So I think they're knocking on the door. Please hold. I'll be right back. Alright. Very sorry about that, you guys. I was dealing with a bunch of stuff. Had to wait for her to write notices for things for my parents. But we're back, and now we can talk. So what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we were watching Highly Suspect. That's where we were watching Highly Suspect. Let me tell you, like toward the end of their set, this is what happens, okay? This is what happens toward the end of their set. Temperature drops like 12 degrees, clouds roll in. Night and day difference from like 100-degree heat to now. So we're thinking, fuck yes, it's finally done being hot, we can just relax. Then it starts to sprinkle. Then it starts to rain. Then it starts to pour. And then it turns into a 60-mile-per-hour wind hailstorm. Yeah, no one saw it coming. They didn't see it coming, we didn't see it coming. No one saw this fucking coming. So we're sitting there, and we're just like, fuck it, we gotta get out of here. We're following everyone, and they're saying just to get back on the shuttle buses because of all the weather. And this brings us to the next thing. The return of the shuttle buses. Your father, I saw you're in the chat. You might want to go back to the very beginning of this stream and watch through it after this is done, because you need the full context of what's going on here. But I digress. Zane, Dylan, and I, we all get ready on the shuttle buses. Like, we all go there. Thankfully, we were, like, toward the front of the line. We got out there early. And security is being a... Well, fuck, I just got destroyed. But security is being a bit of a dick. Like, they're being quite assholes to people. Like, just kind of, like, passive-aggressive almost, I would say. But still, it's quite noticeable. And what we're going through here is one of the most ridiculous things ever. So we're divided into lines, blue and orange, depending on what parking lot we were in. And we had to wait on the, like, 2 shuttle buses to come back around for everyone to pick them up and bring them back to the parking lots. And thankfully, like I said, we got lucky toward the bus. But I've heard that the rest of the people who were, like, toward the back of the line had to wait, like, over 4 hours to get on the bus just to get back to their car. Keep in mind, you can't, like, this venue is like 5 miles away from where you have to park, so you're forced to take the shuttle bus from there to there. Unless you're a camper. Like, if you're a camper, the campsite's like right fucking there. So you just go there. Yeah, we get back to our car, and by that time it like stopped raining, so they announced the festival is canceled because of the extreme weather change. And that was that. But the campsite wasn't much better. I'm going to get on the campsite. This is from the people that I've heard, like, telling their experiences. And I'll even get into, like, more experiences that I found, like, through other means. But this is just from us, mainly. But the campsites apparently got fucking trashed by the storm. Like, tents were smashed, blown away. Fucking everything was soaked. People just, like, lost all their shit in the storm. So that's fucking terrific for them. Like, that just pretty much fucks over their entire time of being there. And the campsites from the rest of the things I've heard... No, get ready for this. Get ready for this. There was like maybe 20,000 people there, give or take. Roughly 20,000 people in that campsite. And like every couple of blocks I've heard there was like 2 or 3 porta-johns. And like 1 shower section. For 20,000 people. And they didn't empty the porta-johns for 2 days. 2 days. They didn't empty them. And supposedly it was getting so bad to the point where people were breaking into that shower area just to take a shit in there because they had nowhere else to. Oh, I almost forgot about the trash. Yeah, they weren't taking out the trash within the festival grounds either. It was just fucking piling up. There was just like mounds of trash all over in front of the fucking trash cans. Yeah. Not a good thing. So that's part of one of the things that we're going through here. Kind of just going all over the place, but this is day 1, mind you. Thursday. 1 day, all this happens. So we get back to our fucking hotel, and we're just sitting there, you know, thinking about what went down. And all that shit. And then, that was pretty much day 1. I could go in a little bit more detail, but I really don't want to, even though I definitely should. But that was day 1. Day 2, Friday. This was honestly the best day and the only day where we had an actual full show. Because like I said, they canceled Thursday, so we didn't get to see Machine Head, Five Finger Death Punch, Tech 9. We got to miss out on a lot of bands that we really wanted to see, which bummed us out big time. But Friday, we got to see all the fucking bands that we wanted to, mostly. So we get in there, like into the parking lot section, and already the line is way fucking longer than before for a shuttle bus because Slipknot's performing, so there's a lot of motherfuckers there, like a lot more people than last time. But it's not like creeping along like it was on Thursday. It's going pretty steady, but it's still hot as all shit, and we had to park like way further back. But we get up there to the line, and I'm gonna sidetrack from my experience personally. Oh, hello, DieShock. But I'm gonna sidetrack from my experience just for a moment, because this is what I've heard from another person I watched. His name was like John Parr or something. John something on YouTube. I watched his rant and breakdown of Blue Ridge, but he said that when he got up there in line, they were turning a bunch of people away, and there's a lot of people just coming back. So he stops them and asks them, like, what's going on? What are they doing here? And they say that they're canceling the festival again today, like again for today, because it was going to storm. So they're they're like pissed. They go up to one of the asshole security guards and are asking, like, is this true? Are they actually canceling it? Apparently he didn't even look at them, but he said, yeah, they're canceling. So they get up, like, so they head back to wherever they came from, like their Airbnb. And like an hour later, they find out that one of the bands they wanted to see perform that night are performing. They fucking lied to people about the show being canceled. They fucking lied to people. And this is our like main theory that people are going off of. They fucking oversold the fuck out of the show. Like, it was 100% sold out. They oversold big time. So what some people are thinking is that they intentionally were turning people away because they didn't have the staff to manage the entire thing. And I know they didn't have the staff to manage it because they all fucking sucked. It was like they took random Joe Schmoes off the street. Were like, hey, you want to run a tour bus? Want a tour bus, a shuttle bus? Or, hey, we need more hands over here on the stage. Do you think it can work? It's just like they took random people. But yeah, they were fucking lying to the fans that the show was canceled when it wasn't canceled. We got in the ground, thankfully. We didn't get fucked over like that. But still, a lot of people were fucking mad about it. And they didn't even find out, like, mainly because apparently the Blue Ridge group put it on, like, Facebook stories. Because they knew if they put it, like, on the main Facebook page, they would get flooded with hate immediately. So that's how a lot of people found out. Which is very fucked. Why lie to people just to save your ass? Because that's just going to make people even more pissed at you. Let's go back to our experience. So we get in there, still hot as fuck, but it's a lot more manageable question mark now because we know the layout. We brought an absolute fuck ton of water, and we go to watch Of Mice and Men for a little bit because we didn't have any bands we wanted to see for a little while. And as we're watching Mice and Men, some girl gets carried out on the guy's back because she's passing out from heat stroke, which was fucking terrific to watch. Like, just kind of fucked up to see. But kind of just that happened. Really didn't dwindle on it much. Just I was already used to all the fucking heat strokes and stuff going on. Yeah, we just sit there. Bands are all great, like I said. So we're just rocking out there, just having a somewhat decent time. Trash is still piled all to fuck. Porta-johns are still all scuffed over. And still no fucking proper security checks either. So someone could have had a fucking knife on them in there. Yeah, every band was great. Got to watch, who do we start with? I think it was Electric Callboy we first watched, I think. Like the main band we wanted to see, because I know I wanted to see Electric Callboy, and I got to, and they sounded great. And I'll get back to them in a second, because bands were getting fucked over too, and Tank the Tech, their tour manager, he openly started talking about it, and I have some stuff from the lead singer of the band, Woe Is Me, that I think you're gonna fucking want to shake your head at with me. yeah, we're in there. And we're watching all their stuff. Like, they sound great. Every band sounds great. I can't stress that enough. They were the best part of the entire thing. And I got to be Peter Griffin in the pit. I dressed up as Peter Griffin. So if anyone else was at Blue Ridge Rock Fest who watches this, you might have very well seen the face of greatness dressed up as Peter in the pit. That's not the point. That's not the point. I keep getting sidetracked trying to make light of some stuff, but I shouldn't. Okay, back to the main thing. So, well, I will say first, I got to meet the TikTok and Vine person, Pizza Beard Party. I got to see him in the pit. About shit myself. That was fucking great. I got a picture with him. I'll post that after my face reveal. But we're going back into here now. So Zane, when we're like around whenever the fuck, we start getting kind of hungry. He goes and gets a burger. Just burger at one of the shops. No big deal. So he starts eating it, and as he's eating it, he sees it's a little pink in the middle. Like, it's starting to get a little pink. He's like, all right, that's fine. He's seen that before. Takes another bite, getting more pink. Third bite, the thing is pretty much still fucking alive. It's like not even cooked in the middle. So that promptly just gets him to quit eating. But around by the time Sleep Token came around, we were watching them, and Zane immediately has to go fucking, like he gets fucked up by the food poisoning. So he has to fucking schmoove, and he was in there for a little bit, so I felt bad for him there. But yeah, he gets out, and we go on for Slipknot. Well, Motionless in White next. Yeah, it was Motionless in White. So we got to see them. They were great. And then and then Slipknot came around. And Slipknot, they were kind of, it seemed like they were off their A game a little bit. Like, it seemed like they really kind of didn't want to perform. And I'll explain to you why that is. Because remember how I said earlier how all the bands were pretty much getting fucked over just like the fans were? Well, let me tell you about what Slipknot went through, supposedly. This is a big supposedly. I don't know all the details, so I'm just going off of what I've heard. So, Slipknot apparently were given, like, no catering for anything. Like, they weren't given security, they weren't given, like, anything that they would need for their set, because Blue Ridge would not cater or pay for it. So Slipknot had to pay for all of that out of pocket, out of their own money. And you could even tell, like in that one video I stopped where they stopped the show during Yen, like you could tell that Corey was just like really fucking out of it. Like he sounded more pissed than he usually does when that happens. And that's not even the full clip. I cut it there because of how long it was taking, and I wanted to like film again when they started up the song. Because once they got that guy out of the pit, or whoever was injured, Corey just kind of looked and was like, "Are they out?" Started again. Just right back into the song. Because normally, like, I have, like, you've probably seen that clip, if you're a Slipknot fan, you've seen that clip of them in Cincinnati last year during their Knotfest Roadshow, how they stopped the song during Unsainted. Like, you can see how Corey was, like, praising the crowd for, like, going on and, like, actually listening and backing up. This time, he was just, like, it's like they didn't even care, which I completely understand, because Zane said they sped up a song like a good bit. It was probably Wait and Bleed, but I don't know which one it was. So, Slipknot was getting fucked over, other bands were getting fucked over, we were getting fucked over. It was a big shit show. And here we go. We're going back to part 3 of the fucking shuttle buses for now. Because I'm going to dwell on more of like the other people's experiences toward the end of our experience. Just so you know, it's more coherent, and I'm not just bouncing all over the place like I have been. But here we go. Return of the shuttle buses. This is the part 3 of our saga here on Shuttle Bus Hell. So after Slipknot's done, Slipknot finishes off their set, and we already knew about the shuttle bus fiasco from yesterday, so we're fucking like scrambling to get to that exit so we don't have to wait. Other people had the same idea because we were in that line for 3 hours. 3 hours. And they had more buses on deck this time. Like, they got, like, a bunch of fucking buses, and we still had to wait 3 hours for a fucking school bus. Yeah. Fucking terrific, ain't it? Oh, that's terrific. There's a fucking megaton. Ugh, I need to get meal kick before I do what I'm about to do. fuck it, die shock. Yeah. Alright. Alright, now that I can actually function somewhat coherently here, I'm gonna go ahead and continue our story. So, here's another thing that I haven't yet brought up. So, because the employees, like the stagehands and all that from Blue Ridge Rock Fest, were supposedly being treated like utter garbage by the management. Like, they weren't being fed properly, they weren't getting showers, and they were being treated like absolute dirt by everyone who ran the place. And supposedly they all went on strike because of it. All of them, like 80% of them went on fucking strike, apparently. And this is from this John dude I was talking about earlier. He said it was probably all the fucking bus hands because there was like no buses ever. So yeah, that was fucking terrific. And everyone in there is just miserable, okay? We're all just sitting there. We all want to fucking get the hell out of there. But of course, we have to fucking keep waiting. And there was someone in the blue line, because they're like for the North Carolina area, I believe, or the West Virginia. I don't know Virginia area. I don't know which area the blue line went to, but they were in that line, and every time like an emergency like gator went by, they would fucking scream, "You should be ashamed of this," or some other stuff, which is probably pissing them off, which is good, because they should be pissed. Like, there's no way you should treat someone like people like this in those fucking conditions. Yeah, it was not an enjoyable experience in that bus line. But at least we got to see some decent bands and have a good time for a moment and then before we started suffering again. And now we get on to day 3. We wake up, it's storming like a motherfucker. So they say that they're gonna like just cancel the festival temporarily until like the storms die down, until weather gets better. And this is the thing. So we're sitting there, we're like, all right. They're just going to cancel it for a little bit. No big deal. No big deal. But then Zane around 1, he looks on the Blue Ridge app, because they had like a app so you can like schedule like how you want to go about the day, like which bands you want to see, and they'll give you like a notification before like 15 minutes before they perform. So he goes on that app, and guess what they did? They updated the set times for bands like that were going on early. They altered the set times without saying anything to anyone. They had they didn't fucking put out any notifications that they were doing it. And Barry Tomorrow, one of the bands I wanted to see, they were going on like really soon because of this set time change. So we're like, oh fuck, we gotta get going if we want to see these guys. So we haul ass, get in the fucking rental car, and drive ourselves down there. And by the time we get down there, we see a couple, there's a bunch of sheriffs. They're like getting people out, and they're just flagging people down the road. So we're already confused. And then we go back, we go down the road and we turn around. There's no sign coming up to where we came from. No sign there. But when we turn back around, we come back up that road, big old sign. Venue closed due to weather. They canceled the day. Just like that. So we only got 1 day in, and we head back, and then we find out that they canceled the rest of the shows for like the entire venue. Due to weather, quote unquote, due to weather. There was no way it was fucking weather, because people were looking at the forecast. It was fucking clear as day on Sunday. Just perfectly fine, hardly any rain. Great fucking day. But they canceled it. We all know the real reason they fucking canceled it, people. It's because they lost all their fucking workers that they were treating like shit, and they most likely got shut down because of how unsanitary it was. As I already said, the trash was piling up, the porta-johns weren't being taken out, people were getting, I think a couple people died, and someone went missing because they had, helicopters searching the area. See, it was a fucking terrific time, and in the fucking, campgrounds, a couple bands like Shinedown, Attila, they did, pop-up shows there for a little bit. But that's not the point right there, because apparently in the campgrounds as well, there was someone setting things on fire, setting tents on fire in the fucking campgrounds. Yeah. And you want to know why that was? Probably because the security guards didn't fucking secure things. Oh, it was a fucking terrific time, I tell you. Fucking terrific time if you want to go through hell with a couple bands as a rest stop. Not fucking enjoyable. We're not going back. But But okay, so that was pretty much the end of our experience, considering that, like I said, they canceled the rest of the fucking venue. And this is what happens here now. I'm gonna go into like some of the main reports from different bands and all that, other people's experiences. I mean, they just like the other bands' experiences. That's what I'm gonna go into because those are the meat and potatoes of this entire thing. Is like the other bands having their experiences. So let's start with Woe Is Me. I'm gonna go ahead. Pause here. I'm gonna pull up some screenshots I took from the official Woe Is Me singer and what he said. So this is what they had for Blue Ridge Rock Festival. I'm gonna go ahead and read this for you here. I've been debating whether or not I should say anything here. My band played Friday at 5:30. Several hours had gone by without contact from the crew responsible for bringing our gear back to the bus. Finally, around 11:30 p.m., our tour manager got a message saying the gear was on a truck headed our way, but was stuck somewhere, and it was going to be a while. We waited another 45 minutes and reached out again, but got no response. Our guitar tech decided to start walking to see if he could find this truck anywhere, but instead he found our gear, close to $50,000 in value, just left on the ground about a quarter mile away. No explanation and no further contact from anyone on staff. This is the only part of the frustration we experienced, and pales in comparison to the awful stories I've read. My heart goes out to everyone who went through hell over the weekend. And then it provided a whole photo of all the stuff just laying on a fucking field in the middle of nowhere. So that was the experience from Woe Is Me toward the end of their stuff. And Tank the Tech, Electric Callboy's manager, tour manager for their stuff, he said that there was literally no fucking lunch catering and nothing like that for their band, and they were getting there was no relay for any information that they set out, because Electric Callboy, they were them and another band were set changed their set times when they were coming around, and they didn't tell the other band, so the other band came around and were really confused, what are you doing here? We're supposed to be at this time, you shouldn't be signing here. And they start figuring it out, and then that's when they realized that they didn't fucking tell them anything. Blue Ridge never told them anything, or didn't relay any information to any of the other bands, which is quite fucked if you say to me. So that's already a big fucking issue that they're going with. And 1 second here, I gotta get into the spot and run my ass in there. Fuck, I fucked it up. Get myself centered here. There we go. Yeah, I do this wall breach spot, sue me. Alright. Now that we're in a decent spot where I can talk a bit more easily, what I'm going to say here now is apparently in the back for Electric Callboy, they had no AC in the dressing room, so it was hot as all hell in there. They had hardly any water. And they also had they had very fucking shitty power supplies and all that for their stuff, because they have video carts that they use for their stage, and none of the stagehands were told that, so they were all confused trying to get things put together. And then here's the main kicker: they had another band that they knew, they were kind of in connections with. They let them borrow the power supply that they were needing for their set, which is fucking awesome, so shout out to whoever that was. And then here's the thing, they fucking did, they had a great show and they got their stage set put together, but they were 20 minutes late. And there was dinner catering, but they were really getting fucked over on a lot of things. I forget the main of it, but you can take a look on the YouTube channel. It's Tank the Tech on YouTube. That's the tour manager I'm talking about here. But a lot of people had a very bad experience. Here's the thing, and here's another thing. They're fucking they're trying to cover up information, the shit that's going on. Blue Ridge is they're trying to cover it all up. They're saying it's misinformation and all that stuff that's being spread. It's not fucking misinformation when over 30,000 people are fucking telling you about it. It's not fucking misinformation. It is the damn truth, and you fucking know it. You scummy fucking bitches. Jonathan Sly is a fucking imbecile, and he's gonna get demolished in the fucking legal community. Oh, he's gonna fucking get destroyed. It is so fucking ridiculous how he went about it. And what else can I bring up? Oh yeah, there's a bunch of fucking memes that people are doing about it too, and everyone's like riling to get a refund. If they don't, everything's gonna get they're gonna flip shit, obviously. Hey, these are the last fellers, aren't they? Yes, they are. Let's go ahead and get this feller papped. Put some of that on my gun. Alright, let's get back in here, hopefully. Wait, no, I'm gonna go hit the rampage inducer, actually. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here. I'm both trying to focus on the game, and I'm both trying to focus on exposing all the bullshit that's been happening at Blue Ridge Rock Festival 2023. Yeah, the main thing... Oh yeah, Till Lindemann, he dropped out, because this is due to illness before the thing even came around. He had to drop out because he was ill, he was sick or something. God damn, they're already fucking... I thought they wouldn't be affected by the rampage inducer. Just yet, at least, but that's fine. Yeah, oh yeah, this reminds me. The fucking lineup. Dude, the fucking lineup was ridiculous. Well, it was ridiculously good, but the shirts... Oh, fuck. Well, that's fine, but the shirts were fucking hilarious. That's the thing here. The shirt... My brother got the festival cutoff, and... I mean, I don't think much about it, but this festival cutoff, the back had the lineups on it, and it was the debut lineup, like the very first one. So it had bands that didn't even show up, like again, bands that were playing on different day. Like it showed bands that were playing on a different day when they didn't play on that day. And they even had like the fucking like a bunch of question marks on on Thursday where they were revealing a mystery band, and Static X was on there when they dropped out with no word. So that's fucking hilarious. They had like it just left the fucking thing on there. I got a festival shirt too, but it has like a decent lineup. It shows like the regular lineup or whatever, but that's fucking hilarious. Just question marks on the shirt. Like they just copied and pasted the lineup there. Oh, I got all my perks. Oh wait, no, I don't have Deadshot. Fuck, I thought I had Deadshot. Shit. Getting fucked up here because I have a giant fucking boom cannon. Damn it. Gotta get back in that spot. I hear what I'm gonna do. I got a plan, Arthur. Got a plan, Arthur, then I'll go back to shitting on Blue Ridge. I need to get another Ether Shroud prepped up immediately. Like, effective immediately. I need another Shroud popped. And I'm going to use that one to get down to that spot. And I'm going to try and center myself up. So that way I can actually get into that spot. Because it's a bit finicky to get into only sometimes. That's what I'm going to do. Alright, let me get the fuck over here. I'm going to pop my first Shroud, keep all these fucking zombies off my ass. Get myself lined up and go on 68. Yes! Alright. We're good for now. Okay, let's stay here and let's go back into bullshitting about Blue Ridge Fuckfest. Now, this is more of an experience from other people there. They were given a bunch of shit, mainly. And this is going back to the dogs. Like, the dogs were really, really skinny. The drug dogs were. And it makes you wonder, because if the fucking main staff wasn't being fed well, I can only imagine how the fucking dogs were being fed. That's what pisses me off a bit more. Because you're just fucking over a bunch of dogs that had nothing to do with any of it. Let's see, what else we got? Fuck. Oh yeah, Jonathan Sly, once all the shit came out, he deleted his fucking Facebook once he started getting ridiculed with a bunch of hate. So he knew he was getting fucked, and then he fucked a lot of people over, which is just a fucking like hilarious move, because He's already ruined himself. He's gonna have people all over him for a good minute. And this is another thing. They're fucking announcing Blue Ridge 24, and people are getting tickets for it. Why get tickets for it? I know there's people who didn't even see anything about this Blue Ridge, but still, who have fucking got tickets for this Blue Ridge Rock Fest and knew what the hell happened at this current Blue Ridge? Who? And why? It makes no sense to me how people can fucking do that. They need to fucking get this shit done. Like, they need to get rid of Blue Ridge Rock Fest, because they've been pretty shit this entire time, like every fucking time they've done it. I don't think they should even be able to do it anymore. Because Electric Callboy, they even said that if a festival like that went on in Europe, they would fucking cancel it immediately and they would shut it down. It was just nothing but filth, heat stroke, poor management, overselling, fucking things over, just treating bands like shit. I'm shocked that fucking Motionless in White was there 3 years in a row. Like, they said that they were performing there 3 years in a row, with this one being their third. They probably aren't coming back now. And if they do, well, I'd be shocked. Very, very shocked. But that's really all there is I can truly say about Blue Ridge Rock Fest, other than the fact that on a Saturday and Sunday, with the last 2 days having been canceled, Zane and I just did our own stuff. We went to this aquarium in Greensboro. That was also a zoo, like Science Center. We went to that. It was pretty cool. We found a little stone village called Shangri-La, which is fucking hilarious. It immediately reminded me of the Call of Duty Zombies map, Shangri-La. And like they had a little tourist book where you can like write your name in it and all that stuff. And I wrote 2 out of 10. No box location, horrible map layout, no pack-a-punch, not even wall guns. COD Zombies really went downhill. This is pretty fucking great. I just memed on it. And here, what else? Yeah, we went to a Dave & Buster's for the first time. That was pretty fun. Wasted all my fucking tickets on that zombie grab game or whatever it was. It was fucking funny, though. It was a good time, but that's about it. We didn't really find a whole lot to do. But what we did do, it was, like, the bands that we did see were awesome, but everything else was a fucking disaster. And that's really all I have to say about Blue Ridge Rock Festival 23. I mean, my experience wasn't as bad as a lot of other people's were. And with the security check, I will say, I'm surprised there wasn't a fucking shooting. Because they didn't check shit. They just they did a security, but they didn't do a check. Which is fucking abysmal, if you ask me. Yeah, that's really all I gotta say. There's not much else I can say, because I didn't have as bad of an experience with everyone else. I mainly just got fucked over by the buses with Xan and I did, and Dylan. And yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. I'm gonna stay here in this lobby, just doing what I'm doing here. And I'm the greatness that is soon to be, Mong. And I will see you whenever I upload next or stream next. Ta-ta! Let's hope Blue Ridge actually gets its shit together or gets shut down.